Hello, my name is Father Jesse Esqueda. I'm a missionary oblate of Mary Immaculate, and I'm really happy to be here with you sharing a topic. My topic is living with enthusiasm. Living with enthusiasm. So what's enthusiasm? According to the dictionary, enthusiasm is strong excitement and active interest. To live with strong excitement. But how do we do that? Especially in a time where we feel that there's so many problems, where there's people with so many insecurities, with so many people suffering. How do we live with enthusiasm? How do we live with enthusiasm when we have so many negative thoughts? How do we do it? There's a way of doing it. First of all, I want to talk to you a little bit about the brain. Do you know that we have about 60,000 thoughts every day? 60,000 thoughts every day. And 80% of them are negative. Can you imagine? 80% of the thoughts that we have are negative. No wonder we suffer so much. So then how do you live with enthusiasm when your mind usually is looking for the negative things in the world? There's three things that I do. Three things that really help me to live with enthusiasm. Hope, gratitude, and service. Hope, gratitude, and service. Let's start with hope. According to Dr. Chan Hellman, he has a great TED Talk on the science of hope. He says that hope is a way of thinking, not a feeling, a way of thinking. So why is that important? Because if hope is a way of thinking, that means that we could learn to live in hope. It's not a feeling. We don't have to wait for hope to come. It's a way of thinking. So to think that tomorrow will be better than today, that tomorrow will be better than today, that's called optimism. But hope goes further down. To think that tomorrow will be better than today and that I have the power to make it happen, that's hope. That I have the power to make it happen. So that means that you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you are able to make it happen, that you are able to make hope happen. And again, you're going to have many negative thoughts, many people that are going to tell you that it's impossible. But that's when you have to put in your willpower and believe in yourself. I don't know if you heard the story of Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister was a runner. And around the 50s, they used to say that it was impossible, physically impossible, to run the mile in less than 4 minutes. But Roger did not believe that. Roger trained and trained and trained, and he was mentally strong, and he believed in himself. So in 1954, Roger Bannister broke the record. He ran the mile in under 4 minutes. That's amazing. But the most amazing thing was that after he ran the mile in less than 4 minutes, many other people did the same thing. Roger had broken down a mental barrier. He believed in himself, and then he was able to do it. So hope is believing that tomorrow will be better than today, and that you have the power to make that happen. That's hope. So for us to live in hope, we need three things. We need goals, pathways, and willpower. Goals. What is it that you want in your life, in your school? Where do you want to go? You have to have a goal. And then how will you get there? What's your plan? And then finally, the willpower. The sacrifice required for you to get there. That's to live in hope. Number 2, gratitude. Gratitude, like hope, is not a feeling. Gratitude is a choice. Gratitude is focusing on whatever blessing you have rather than focusing on the negative things that are going on in your life. You can choose to be in gratitude. Some people say, oh yeah, I'll be grateful when I'm happy. But that's not the way it is. You will be happy when you're grateful, because gratefulness or gratitude is focusing on the blessing that God has given you. Let me tell you a story. There was once a grandmother that took her beautiful grandson, 5 years old, to the beach. And they were having fun in the beach. Then the grandmother turned around and she started doing other things. The little boy was so well dressed with a beautiful hat. Then the little boy started walking into the water. A wave came and it took the little boy. When the grandmother turned around, she saw the little boy drowning. She started screaming to God, please God, help me. Please God, help me. And God listened to her. All of a sudden, another wave returns the little boy, and the little boy comes out of the water like nothing, walking. The grandmother ran, she hugged her grandson, kissed him, and then she noticed something. She got really upset, and looking at God, she said, what happened to the little hat? Where is the hat? She was upset because of the hat. God had returned the grandson alive, healthy, and she was focusing on the hat. That is so sad. But that's what happens to us. We tend to focus on what we don't have. We have so many things. Everything we have is a gift from God. Our health, our family, our food, our education. So whenever you feel down, focus on that. Because you know what? You can't be bitter and grateful. You can't be angry and grateful. You can't be jealous and grateful. You can't be upset and grateful. When you focus on gratitude, the other feelings go away. So gratitude is placing your mind, your heart, in whatever blessings that you have. Gratitude. And then finally, we're going to have service. Service is a beautiful thing. And service is the ability to help someone, to change someone's life. I've been so blessed that I've been here in Tijuana now for 10 years. I work in one of the poorest areas in the whole entire country. People live here in poverty or extreme poverty. And it's been so amazing to be able to serve these people, giving them food baskets, helping them get scholarships, and then specifically with whatever troubles that they have. And I have so many stories to share. But here's one story. When I got to Tijuana about 10 years ago, a young man that was part of the youth group, he would come here every day. But then suddenly he didn't come for a few days. It had been raining a lot. We had a storm. Then when he came back, he looked pale. And I said, "Hey, are you okay?" He said, "No, Father, I'm not okay." So I took him to my office and I started talking to him. And I said, "What happened?" Apparently the rain had got into his roof. His roof was destroyed and all his stuff got wet because of the rain. He lived alone because his parents moved to the US. So for 3 days, he was cleaning his house, trying to rescue whatever documents and things that he had. And as he was telling me this, he started crying. And I said, "Are you okay? Did you eat?" He said, "No, Father, I didn't eat in 3 days." He hadn't eaten anything in 3 days. So immediately I got up, I went to my refrigerator, I got a plate of food, I put it in the microwave and I started crying. I realized for the first time how difficult it is for some people. The conditions that people all over the world have to face when they have no money. So I came back, I gave him the food, and I said, "Please don't let this happen again. You're not alone. If you ever need food or you need something else, please tell us." He was too embarrassed to tell people that he had no food. So this went on for 3 days. 3 days. I feel so blessed because now here in Tijuana, I have the opportunity to serve so many people. They say that the best medicine when someone is sad or depressed or angry is service. So I encourage you to serve. I encourage you to find something to be positive. I encourage you to live in hope, gratitude, and service. I want to end with this story. When I was in high school, I had a good friend named Victor. And Victor was the only young man in a wheelchair in the entire school. And Victor was just a very enthusiastic guy, despite the fact that he was in a wheelchair. They had to put ramps all over the school because he was the only one in a wheelchair, so he needed to get to classes. But he was very enthusiastic, very positive, despite that. Victor learned to drive using his hand for the gas and the brakes. He went to college. He would go out to parties, clubs, and he would dance in his chair. He would go around asking young ladies to dance with him. Many of them would tell him no, but he wouldn't care. He would ask somebody else because he was focused on the fact that he was alive. And he would dance. Very enthusiastic, very happy young man, despite the fact that he was in a wheelchair. I also have another friend. She had a limp. She didn't walk right. She was miserable. Every time she would go somewhere and she would hear people laughing, she thought they're laughing at me. All of it, all her life was about her disability. And she was miserable. Then finally we had a dance at the church. And my friend, the girl, she's in the corner, feeling sorry for herself. And she's thinking, this is not fair. Why can't I dance? People are going to laugh at me. I can't do anything. Feeling sorry for herself. She was being miserable. Then she looks at the dance floor and she saw Victor, my friend, on a wheelchair. He was moving his arms. He was moving his chair. He was having a great time. And that's when it hit her. She said, "Wow, I've been so naive. How is it possible that this guy that has it so much worse than me is enjoying the party, his youth, his life more than me. So that moment changed her life. She realized that her mind, her insecurities, her thoughts were keeping her down. And she decided to make a change. I think it's time for you to make a change. Remember, we're always going to have challenges in life, but it's your choice how you want to see those challenges. Remember, live in hope, gratitude, and service. And that will give you the opportunity to live with enthusiasm. Thank you so much.